Function of parts, front and back. You get your display, which is located at the top of the unit. This shows various types of information depending on which screen you're on. You get your track function buttons located just under the display. These will correspond with options shown at the bottom of the display. Underneath those you get your faders. Use these to adjust individual track signal levels. Just to the right of the faders you have your input button. This opens up the input select screen. Just below that you get the effect button. This opens up the effect settings screen. And below that you get the rhythm button. This opens up the rhythm screen. Just underneath the faders you have the bounce button. You can use this to combine up to 4 tracks to a single bounce track and clear tracks 1 to 4 for further recording. Get the undo button located here. Use this to restore recordings to their state before the previous bounce. And you get your search backward button located here. Press briefly to move the playback position backwards and press continuously to move backward quickly. You also get the search forward button. Press briefly to move the playback position forwards or press continuously to move forward quickly. Underneath those you get the stop button. Press this to stop recording and playback. Press when stopped to move playback position back to the start of the file. If you press and hold while stopped to open the options menu at the bottom of the display. And then you get the play button located here. There is the play indicator light, which is just above the play button, which lights up during playback. You get the recording button located here. Use this to start recording. And then there's a recording light indicator above the record button, and this will light up during recording. You get your input A and mic switch, which is located here. You can use this to switch to select the input source. If you have it on input A, device connected to input A is input, and if you have it to mic, sound from the inbuilt microphone is input. On the rear you get your battery cover. Open this to install or change the AA batteries, and we also get a tripod mount. The R4 can be connected to a stand, for example a tripod, and the diameter is 1/4 inch. Function of parts, left, right and front side. On the right side of the unit, located down here, you get your USB Type-C port. Use this to connect to a computer, smartphone or tablet, or to transfer files or a USB audio interface. Get your micro SD card slot. Use this to insert a micro SD card here. And you also get your power button, which is used to turn the unit on and off. On the left side of the unit, located down here, you get your headphone line out jack for connecting headphones, and you also have the volume buttons, and you can use these to adjust the volume for the headphone and line out jack. On the front side of the unit, located here, you get your input jack A and B for connecting either microphones or instruments. You can use XLR or TS connectors, and you also get the built-in mic located here. Use this to record acoustic instruments or vocals. Overview of screens that appear. Whenever the unit is started, the first screen that will appear is the home screen, which is shown on screen right now. This is the default screen and is shown during ordinary playback and recording. On the home screen, you can open the options screen. To do this, make sure that playback has stopped by pressing the stop button, and then press and hold the stop button, and the options will show up across the bottom of the screen. Each option corresponds to the button directly below it. Press the button to open that option, so you get new project, file, tuner and settings. To remove that screen, just release the stop button. The settings menu is accessible through opening the options screen from the home screen. So press and hold the stop button and then press the settings button there. This will open up the menu settings. To return to the previous screen, simply press the back option button, which is located up here. How to insert a micro SD card. When the power is off, Open up the micro SD card slot, which is located on the right hand side of the unit, and insert the micro SD card so the connectors are facing down, and then push it in until it clicks. And to remove the SD card, you just push it in a little bit further into the slot, and that will release it, and then put the cover bit back over. Always ensure the power is off when inserting or removing an SD card. Make sure the SD card is the right way up. Recording and playback are not possible without an SD card. Always make sure you format an SD card when using it with the R4 for the first time. And the R4 can take a micro SDHC of 4GB to 32GB, or a micro SDXC of 64GB to 1TB. How to supply power to the R4. The R4 can be powered by either batteries or via the USB port. The R4 takes 4 AA batteries to power the unit. To install the batteries, remove the cover on the back of the unit. Ensure that you install the 4 AA batteries correctly, then reattach the back cover. To power the unit via USB, use either the dedicated Zoom AD17 adapter with a USB Type-C cable. You can also use another device such as a laptop with a USB Type-C cable, or you could use a portable battery with a USB Type-C cable. Connecting mics and guitars to input A and B. You can connect dynamic and condenser microphones to either input A or B via the XLR input, which is at the front on the bottom, and phantom power can be supplied to condenser mics. To connect a guitar or bass, use the TS plugs of either input A or B. Please note that to use the built-in effects when recording, you must use input A. Connecting synthesizers or other stereo output devices. When recording a stereo output device, connect to the R4 in the following way. Connect the left output into input A, and connect the right output into input B, and then 2 adjacent tracks can then be stereo linked and treated as one stereo pair. How to turn the unit on and off. To turn the R4 on, press and hold the power button on the side until the recording and playback indicators light up, like so. On initial startup, you'll be prompted to set the date and time if it's the first time you started the unit. The R4 can be set to automatically switch off if it's unused. If no SD card appears, make sure that the SD card is inserted properly. If invalid SD card appears, ensure you have formatted it. To power the unit off, press and hold the power button on the right hand side. The display will turn blank and the unit will power down. If saving data appears when powering down, do not remove batteries or unplug the USB power supply. Setting up when first turned on. When the unit is turned on for the very first time, or after restoring to factory default, the initial settings screen will appear. You will be prompted to set the date and time, as well as the type of batteries being used. Use the left and right buttons, which are shown on the display here, to select the desired setting to change, and then press enter. So we're going to change the date, and then it will change to plus and minus, so you can change the value. Press a tick when you're finished, and then use the left and right buttons to select the next bit to change, and then continue until you're finished. When you have completed the date and time, go to the tick and press OK. After setting the date and time, you'll be prompted to set the type of batteries being used. Use the up and down buttons under the display to select either alkaline, nickel metal hydride or lithium, Once selection is made, press the tick to confirm. So we are using alkaline batteries, so we're going to press tick, and then a done message will appear, and that's what happens when you first start up the unit. How to open the tuner. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button located here. Doing this will open the options menu, and then press the tuner button, which is now located under the display, and this will open the tuner. Once you have opened the tuner will detect sound input through input A or the built-in mic. So for example, if you're tuning a guitar, play the open string of the string you wish to tune. On the screen will appear the note or number closest to the current pitch. How to set the tuner type. On the tuner screen, press the type button to cycle through the various settings. If you select chromatic, the nearest note will appear on the screen in semitones. If you select one of the other types, the nearest number will appear on screen as follows. For guitar, the low B string will be number 7, 6 will show as the low E string, 5 for the A string, 4 for the D string, 3 for the G string, 2 for the B string, and 1 for the high E string. For bass, the 5 will show for the low B string, 4 for the E string, 3 for the A string, 2 for the D string, and 1 for the G string. Besides from chromatic, guitar and bass, you can also have open A, open D, open E, open G, and dadgad. And if you press type again, it'll go back to chromatic. How to use flat tunings. On the tuner screen, which is the screen we're on right now, ensure that you have selected a tuner type other than chromatic. So we'll go ahead and select guitar. And from there you can press the flat option under the display, which is located here. And you can set the tuner type to be up to 3 semitones flat. So you can do 1, 2 or 3. If you just press it, it will continue to cycle through. When you've made your selection, so if you want to tune your guitar 2 semitones flat, just go ahead and tune your guitar as you would normally. How to set the standard pitch of the tuner. Once you're on the tuner screen, which is the screen we're on right now, to set the standard pitch of A, press the button under the display marked as calib for calibration. You can set this anywhere between 435 and 445 Hz, and if you just press it and continue to press it, it will just cycle through like so. The default is set to 440 Hz. How to open and close the rhythm screen. On the home screen, which is the screen we're on right now, press the rhythm button, which is located here. From here you can make various selections to pattern, tempo and volume. Once you're finished on this screen, press the rhythm button again to close the screen and return to the home screen. How to set the rhythm to be on or off during recording and playback. Open the rhythm screen by pressing the rhythm button. Use the up and down buttons to select rhythm. And then press the tick, which is located here, to toggle this to be either on or off. So that would be on, and that would be off. If it's on, the rhythm pattern is on during recording and playback. And if it's off, the rhythm pattern is off for recording or playback. When you're finished, just press the rhythm button to go back. How to change the rhythm pattern. Open the rhythm screen by pressing the rhythm button, which is located here. Use the up and down buttons to select pattern, which is there, and then press enter. And from there you can use the left and right buttons to change the type of pattern being played. and there are 83 different types to choose from with various genres and time signatures. When you're finished, press the rhythm button again. How to set the tempo of the rhythm pattern. Press the rhythm button to open the rhythm screen. Use the up and down buttons to select tempo, which is here. Press enter to select it. And then you can use the plus and minus buttons to make changes. So if you want to increase the tempo or lower the tempo. And then when you're finished, press the tick button to deselect it. And when you're finished completely, press the rhythm button to go back to the previous screen. How to set the volume of the rhythm pattern. Open the rhythm screen by pressing the rhythm button located here. Use the up and down buttons to select volume. Press the enter button to select it, and then use the plus and minus buttons now to increase or decrease the volume. And press tick when you're finished to deselect it, and when you're finished completely, press the rhythm button to go back to the previous screen. How to set the pre-count for the rhythm pattern. Open the rhythm screen by pressing the rhythm button located here. Then use the up and down buttons to select pre-count, and then press the tick to either toggle this to be either on or off. If it's on, there'll be a pre-count before the rhythm starts playing, like so, and if it's off, there will be no pre-count. If it's on, the playback position format on the home screen will change to bars and beats located in the top. How to create a new project. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press new project located here. This will create a new project and return you to the home screen. Once a new project has been created, you'll be able to change its name and assign tracks to it. How to open an existing project. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button to open the options menu, located up here, and then press the settings, and then use the up and down buttons to select project, and press the enter button to confirm. From here you need to select project list and press enter. This will bring up the previously created projects. You can then use the up and down buttons to select the project that you wish to open. Press the enter button and then select open and press enter again, and this will open the project you've just chosen. How to tell the current status of each track. On the home screen, which is the screen located here, tracks that show up in red, so you can see track 2 is in red, is either currently recording or in recording standby. Black, which you can see for tracks 3 and 4, are currently empty, and green, which is for track number 1 in this case, has previously recorded audio on it. How to assign inputs to a track. To assign an input to a track, press the input button on the right hand side to open up the input options menu. This will then display the current inputs for the track. You can change the inputs for the tracks by pressing the corresponding function button directly below the display. Each input can only be assigned to a single track at a time. Input A or input B with a lightning bolt next to it means that it is supplying phantom power. So as you can see here on track 3, input B has a lightning bolt next to it, so it's supplying phantom power. Input A on track 2 currently does not. Only supply phantom power to equipment that requires it. A track with a line next to it, next to the input, means that no track is currently input, so tracks 1 and 4 in this case. Use input A for connecting guitar or a dynamic mic, and use input A with a lightning bolt for connecting a condenser mic, and you can have input B exactly the same as it is now for connecting a guitar or dynamic mic, or with a lightning bolt for phantom power for connecting a condenser mic. How to monitor input and playback sounds. Once tracks have been assigned or tracks previously recorded, you can monitor the sounds with headphones. Connect your headphones to the headphone jack on the left-hand side of the unit. Audio from input instruments assigned to tracks can be heard. Audio previously recorded can be heard when the play button is pressed. Adjust the volume using the buttons on the left-hand side of the unit. The volume level is shown on the left of the screen when being adjusted. Just like so. How to enable stereo linking between two tracks. You can link tracks 1 and 2 together, or tracks 3 and 4 together. To do this, on the home screen, press the track function buttons 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 at the same time. The stereo linking icon will appear on the screen between the two tracks that have been linked, as you can see in between 3 and 4 at the top. Repeat the same procedure to disable track linking, just like so, and stereo linking cannot be changed during recording or playback. What happens when two tracks are stereo linked? Only tracks 1 and 2 or 3 and 4 can be linked. Odd numbered tracks are assigned to the left channel. Even numbered tracks are assigned to the right channel. Pan settings will be disabled. The fader for the odd numbered track adjusts the volume. So number 1 would adjust for 1 and 2, and number 3 would adjust for 3 and 4. The fader for the even numbered track has no effect at all, and the following parameters will be linked. The fader, the EQ, the echo, and the reverb. How to make EQ adjustments to a track. On the home screen, which is a screen we're on now, press the track button below the display for the track you wish to edit. This will open up the track settings screen. Use the up and down buttons now assigned to the function keys. We're going to select low, middle or high. We'll go for middle. Press enter to select it, and you use the plus and minus buttons now to either increase or decrease, like so. When you're finished, press the tick button to deselect it, and you can select either one of the other options. When you're finished completely, press the back button to go back. How to make pan adjustments to a track. On the home screen, which is the screen we're on right now, press the track button below the display for the track you wish to edit. So we'll go ahead and edit track number 1. This will open the track settings screen. Use the up and down buttons now assigned to the function keys and select pan to make adjustments. Press enter to select it. Then use the plus and minus function keys to make adjustments to the left or right. So you can either have it panned all the way to the left or anywhere in between, or anywhere on the right or in between. When you're finished, press the tick button to confirm and deselect it. And when you're finished completely, press the back button to go back. How to adjust the amount of echo on a track. On the home screen, press the track button below the display for the track you wish to edit. So we'll go ahead and press track number 1. Use the up and down buttons now assigned to the function keys and select echo. And then press enter to select it. Then use the plus and minus function keys to make adjustments. When finished, press the tick. So we're going to 20 to echo. When you're finished, press the tick to deselect it. And when you're finished completely, press back to return to the home screen. How to adjust the amount of reverb on a track. On the home screen, which is the screen we're on now, press the track button below the display for the track you wish to edit. So we'll press track 1. This will open up the track settings screen. Use the up and down buttons now assigned to the function keys to select reverb. And then press enter to select it. Then use the plus and minus function keys to make adjustments to how much reverb you like on a track, like so. When you're finished, press the tick to deselect it, and when you're finished making any other settings changes, press the back button to go back to the home screen. How to start and stop recording. Once you have assigned inputs to the tracks you want, you will be ready to record. To do so, press the record button located here. The red light will appear above the record button to indicate recording, and the time elapsed will be shown in the top left of the screen. And then to stop recording, simply just press the stop button. How to partially re-record over a track. You are able to punch in and out and re-record over a previously recorded track. This means you only need to overwrite a certain section of the track. For the best results, make sure that settings are similar to the already recorded track. It is also always best to start singing or playing before hitting the record button to overwrite a new section. Press the play button to start playback, and then press the record button to start re-recording at that exact point. So if you want to start at 10 seconds, wait till it gets there, and press the record button. That will automatically start recording again. When you want to stop, press the record button again, and it will stop recording, but playback will continue. Press the stop button to stop playback. How to bounce tracks to a single track. Bouncing is a function designed to combine multiple tracks into one single track. The maximum number of bounces for a project is 99. If bouncing is conducted during rhythm playback, this will also be mixed into the bounce track. Bouncing is not possible if a track exceeds 93 minutes. Press the stop button on the home screen to stop recording and make sure you're at the start of the track, and then press bounce on the unit, which is located here. This will open up the bounce menu. Use the up and down buttons to select the type of bounce desired. Quick bounce quickly executes the bounce and sound cannot be adjusted while bouncing. Or real-time bounce, bouncing occurs in real time, enabling you to adjust the faders if needed. We're going to select quick bounce, so press enter onto quick bounce. After bouncing is completed, tracks 1 to 4 will be empty. You can press the play button to hear the bounce track. Confirm that it has worked as intended. If not, you can immediately press the undo button located here. This will restore the state immediately before bouncing started. How the onboard effects affect the sound. The R4 includes a variety of effects that can be used on inputs and recorded tracks. There are two types of onboard effect. You have insert effects and send effects. Insert effects only affect sound that is being input from input A or the built-in microphone, so this input here. And this is only applied during recording and does not affect the sound after recording. Send effects are set for individual tracks, and send effects do not affect the recorded files. How to use insert effects. Insert effects only work on input A or the built-in microphone. To open the insert effects menu, press the effect button located here, and this will open up the menu. Two effects can be chosen from a selection of effects, and their parameters can be adjusted. Once on the Insert Effects menu, use the left and right buttons to navigate the various options. So you can, at the moment, select the two different types of effects. So we'll press enter on one, and we'll go down and select a amp. When you're finished, press the tick to confirm the selection for that effect. Once you have selected your first effect, use the left and right buttons to navigate to the parameters. Then you can press the enter button to select the parameter, and then you can use the plus and minus buttons to change the parameter. And when you're finished, press the tick button to confirm, and you can continue to do this for other effects and other parameters. And then when you're finished, press the back button. How to bypass an effect. Open the Insert Effects screen by pressing the Effects button located here. It will show you this screen here. And then use the left and right buttons to highlight the icon of the effect you wish to bypass. So we're going to highlight the first effect, and then on the bottom right of the screen here, the function key will be labelled as bypass. If you press it, it will go faded, and that will bypass that effect. To toggle this back on, press bypass again, and it will come back on. When you're finished, press the back button. How to adjust the echo and reverb parameters. To adjust the echo and reverb parameters, first of all, press stop and stop any recording. Then press and hold the stop button and press the settings button when it appears on screen, like so. This will open up the settings menu, and then use up and down to select echo and reverb and press enter. Once you're on this screen, use the up and down buttons to select the parameter you wish to change. You can change the echo time, the echo repeat, or the reverb decay. So we'll go and change the echo repeat. Press enter to select it, and then use the plus and minus buttons to make your changes. And then press back. Same thing for the decay, and the same for the time. When you're completely finished and happy, press the back button to go back to the settings screen, and then press back again to go back to the home screen. How to start and stop playback. To start playback, just press the play button located here. The green light will appear above it. This will play the selected file, and then to stop playback, press the stop button located here. And if you press the stop button again while the file has stopped, it will return the playback position to the start of the file. You see we're at 10 seconds in, so press stop again, and you'll go back to the beginning. How to move the playback position. There are a few options for moving the playback position of the current file. You can use the forward and reverse buttons to do so. A brief press on the back button will move the playback position backwards. A continuous press of the backward button will search backwards through the file. This is also the same for the forward button. A brief press will move slowly, or hold it for continuous searching. So, like so, for continuous searching, or press it slowly to go back slowly, or press and hold to go quicker, just like so. How to change a project name. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button. This will open up the options menu, and press the settings button when it appears. Use up and down to select project, and press the enter button to confirm. Select project list from the options by pressing enter, and then use the up and down buttons to select the project you wish to rename, and press enter again. Go down to rename and press enter. On this screen, you can use the left and right buttons to navigate the on-screen keyboard. Project names can have up to 13 characters in them, and once you're finished renaming, press enter. So I'll go ahead and try and rename this quickly. just like so, and then when you're finished, press tick on the enter button, and that will change the name of your current project. How to copy a project. On the home screen, which is this screen here, press and hold the stop button and then press the settings button when it appears. Use the up and down to select project and then press enter to confirm. Select project list from the options by using the up and down buttons and then press enter to open the list. Select the project you wish to copy and press enter, and navigate to copy and press enter again. Once you're on this screen, you can use the left and right buttons to navigate the on-screen keyboard. Project names can have up to 13 characters in them. And once you've finished naming the copied project, press enter. So we'll just go ahead. Let's add a couple of zeros to this one. And then select enter when you're finished. And press the tick. That's now copied that project and has returned you back to the project list. How to delete a project. On the home screen, which is the screen we're on right now, press and hold the stop button and then press the settings button when it appears. Then use the up and down buttons to select project and press enter. Use the up and down buttons to select project list and press enter again. And then navigate to the project you wish to delete. So we're going to go ahead and delete this one and press enter. And then navigate to delete using the up and down buttons and press enter again. This will then open a confirmation screen and you can select from either delete or cancel. Use the up and down buttons to make your choice. We're going to go ahead and delete it, so we've selected delete and then press the tick on screen to confirm, and you'll get a done message when it's done and that project will have been deleted. How to assign files to tracks. You can assign files from existing projects or audio files from the SD card to tracks in a project. First of all, you need to open the File Assign menu. To do so, press and hold the stop button and then press the file button when it appears. Then use the up and down to select the track you wish to assign a file to. So we'll go ahead and choose track 1 and press enter. Once you're on this screen, you can select either project to assign a file from a project or SD card to assign a file direct from the SD card. So as an example, we're going to select project and press enter. We're going to go to this project, press enter again, and then we're going to choose the file we want to assign to track 1, press enter, and that file from that project will now be assigned to track 1 in this project. How to clear a track. First of all, you need to open the File Assign menu. To do so, press and hold the stop button and then press the file button when it appears, like so. Then use the up and down buttons to select the track you wish to clear. So we're going to go ahead and clear track 1, press enter. Once you're on this screen, use the up and down buttons to select clear track, like so, and then we're going to press enter again. And that will clear track 1, ready for either to have a file assigned to it or to re-record something over the top. Things to know when exporting projects. Projects can be exported as audio files. These will be saved in the root directory of the SD card. There are various settings to choose from when exporting files. You can choose the file format, which can be a WAV file or an MP3 file. You can choose the bit depth, which can be 16, 24 or 32-bit float. and you can have normalization selected either on or off. You should also know that if the rhythm pattern playback is enabled, when exporting it will be mixed in with the track, and if a project is longer than 93 minutes, exporting will not be possible. How to export a project as an audio file. On the project you wish to export, press and hold the stop button, and then press the settings button when it appears. Use the up and down buttons to select project and press enter. From there, select export and press the enter button again. From there, you will get the option to choose the file format. Use the up and down buttons to choose between WAV or MP3. Once selection has been made, press the enter button. Then you'll be asked to select the bit depth for exporting, and you can choose between 16-bit, 24-bit or 32-bit float. If you're exporting to MP3, the bit depth is fixed at 128 kbps. Once selection is made, press the enter button. Now you'll be asked to have normalization turned either on or off. This is a function that determines the loudest volume of the audio data and raises the level as much as possible without causing distortion. Once you have made your selection, press the enter button. Now you will come to the execute or cancel option. To select cancel, if you want to cancel it, use the up and down buttons. To execute, select execute. We're going to go ahead and execute, so select execute and then press the tick, and then a processing bar will appear on the screen, and once the export is complete, the project menu screen should reopen, just like so. How to delete an audio file. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press settings when it appears, just like so. Then use the up and down to select project and then press enter to confirm. Once you're on this screen, use the up and down buttons to select file delete and press enter, just like so. Then when you're on this screen, you can use the up and down buttons to select audio files that are no longer needed. When you have navigated to the file you wish to delete, press the enter button. And then you'll get a confirmation option, so select delete and then press the tick again, and that will delete. You can then continue through and delete any other files that are no longer needed, and when you're finished, press the back button to go back to the home screen. How to check the remaining space of an SD card. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button, and then press the settings button when it appears, like so, and then use the up and down buttons to select SD card and press the enter button to confirm. From there, use the up and down buttons to select remaining and press the enter button. Now shown on the screen will be the amount of space that is currently in use on the SD card. Once finished, press the back button to return to the previous screen. How to format an SD card. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press the settings button when it appears, like so. Use the up and down buttons to select SD card and press the enter button to confirm. From there, use the up and down buttons to select format and then press the enter button. You will get the option now to execute or cancel. Use the up and down buttons to select execute and then press the tick to confirm. Please note that formatting an SD card will delete all currently recorded data. As you can see, there is a warning on screen, but we're going to go ahead and execute, so press the tick. A done message will come up when it's done, and the SD card will now be formatted to the R4. How to test the performance of an SD card. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press the settings button when it appears on screen. And then use the up and down buttons to select SD card and then press enter. Once you're on this screen, select performance test using the up and down buttons and press enter. From there you'll get two options. You can do quick test, which takes a short amount of time, or you can do full test, which takes longer but checks the whole SD card. Make your selection and press enter. So we're going to go and do a quick test, and then select execute and then press the tick to start the test. During the test, pressing back will cancel it, and during a full test you can press pause to pause the test and then press restart to restart the test. Once the test is complete, the results will be shown on screen. This was a pass. Once over, press the back button to return to the previous screen. How to change the date and time. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press the settings button when it appears. Then use the up and down buttons to select system and press the enter button. Once you're on this screen, use the up and down buttons to select date and time and then press enter. And then use the left and right buttons to select an option. So we'll just select the hour, press enter, and then you can use the plus and minus buttons to now change the time. When you're finished, press the tick to deselect it, then use left and right buttons to select another option, and then press the tick when you're done. When you've completely set the date and time, select OK and press tick. That will confirm the new date and time, and then press back to go back to the home screen. How to set the type of batteries being used. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press the settings button when it appears on screen. Use the up and down buttons to select system and press enter. From there, select battery type and press enter. And then you get the options to choose which battery you're using. You can have either alkaline, nickel metal hydride or lithium. We are currently using alkaline batteries anyway, so we're going to go ahead and press tick on it and then press back to return to the home screen. How to set the display power saving mode. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press the settings button when it appears. Use the up and down buttons to select system, press enter. From there, select power saving using the up and down buttons and press enter. From there you can select the option to be either on or off. If it's off, the display will always stay bright, and if it's on, the display will dim after 30 seconds without operation. Make your selection and press the tick button to confirm, and then press back to go back to the home screen. How to set the display brightness. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press the settings button when it appears on screen, and use the up and down buttons to select system and press enter. From there you need to select LCD brightness, which is there, and press enter again. Once you're on this screen, you'll get 3 brightness levels to choose from. You can have low, medium or high, I'm going to go ahead and leave it on medium, so press the tick on medium. When you're finished, press the back button to keep going and then go back to the home screen. How to set the eco mode. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press the settings when it appears. Use the up and down buttons to select system and then press enter to confirm. From here, you need to select auto power off, so use the up and down buttons and press enter. Once you're here, you'll get the option to turn this either on or off. If it's set to off, the power will not turn off automatically, but if it's set to on, the power will turn off if it is unused for 10 hours. When you've made your selection, press the back button to go back to the home screen. How to restore to default factory settings. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press settings when it appears. Use the up and down buttons to select system and then press enter. From here, select factory reset and press enter. You'll then get an execute or cancel button option. We're going to go ahead and press execute. This will restore all settings to factory default and power off the R4. How to check the current firmware. On the home screen, press and hold the stop button and then press settings when it appears on screen. Use the up and down buttons to select system. Press enter. From there, use the up and down buttons to select firmware and press the enter button. This will bring up the details for the current firmware installed on the R4. When you're finished, press the back button to take you back to the home screen. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I really hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe for more tutorials on the R4 and others to come. If you'd really like to help the channel, please consider becoming a member. Thanks again for watching.